Good morning, children. Welcome to social class. So, in social, we are learning block 22, isn't it, children? Which is our government, isn't it? And we have learned why we need government. Yes, and in our country, there are two levels of government, central government and state government. Why? Because we have about 28 states and 8 union territories, and one government can't rule all the states and all the union territories, isn't it, children? That's why we have state and central governments as levels of government, isn't it? And also we have learned about the organs of the government, which is legislature, executive, and judiciary. Okay, legislature makes laws, executive carries out the laws, and judiciary takes the action on those who break the law, isn't it, children? So today in the fourth topic we are going to learn about the state and central government and the state government. Okay, how does this governments make the law? Who form this government? How do they execute it? And how do they, who will be taking care of those who break the law? That is, who is the judiciary? All those we will learn in this topic. Okay, so please open your social content book, children, and turn to page number 137. Okay, so if you see the central government, children, so the first level is central government, which will call it as parliament. Okay, so the president along with the prime minister and the council of minister form the executive body of our country. Okay, executive body of our country. And what is the legislative part of central government? It is nothing but the parliament. Okay, parliament is the legislative body. And who will be the members of this? The Indian parliament, nothing but the people, the members of the council and the prime minister will be the members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Okay, that means in parliament there are two houses. Okay, Lok Sabha, which has 552 members in it. That means whenever they have to introduce a law into the country, into the country, then that law will be discussed with these 552 members of Lok Sabha. Okay, they'll discuss what are the plus points of that law, what are the minus points, who will be suffering, who will be benefited, do anyone will get harm with that law. All those things they discuss in this Lok Sabha. Okay, and after that, after discussing what are the minus points, how can we make it positive, how can we rectify the issue for the people who are suffering with everything, they discuss in this Lok Sabha. Okay, after making sure that law will be benefited by all the people, then it is passed on to the second house, which is Rajya Sabha, and in this there are about 250 members, children. Okay, after the law is accepted by the Lok Sabha, it will be passed on to the Rajya Sabha. And there also, again, they'll be discussing the plus points, minus points, how can be how it can be rectified. Everything again it will be discussed in the Rajya Sabha. After discussion, after everyone claims that is it's okay, that law can be issued into the country, that can't be followed into the in the country, then they pass it on to the in the country. Okay, they'll announce that law. Okay, children, so in that way the law is made. Okay, and the council of ministers and the prime minister along with the president make sure that everyone in the country following it. Okay, children, and so you understood who makes the legislator? That is the parliament in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. And who takes care, how, who carries out the law? The executive, that is nothing but the president, prime minister, and the council of ministers make sure that everyone is following. What about when that law is breaked, when someone breaks that law? Then the Supreme Court, judiciary is the Supreme Court. Okay, highest judiciary of the country, that Supreme Court will be punishing the people who are not following that law or who is breaking that law. Understood, children? Now you understood what is the legislative body, what is the executive body, and the judiciary of the central government. Yes. Now coming to the state government. And before that, now this central government, I told you that president along with prime minister, council of ministers, all these people make the executive law, isn't it, children? Yes, they'll be executing the law. And how does this members of parliament and these people, the prime minister, the council of minister are elected? They are elected by different parties. Okay, the members of the parliament are usually elected by different political parties, not by the people. Okay, and how who are the people who are electing them? Are the people who we elected. So we elect the members, and that members will be electing the members of the parliament. Okay, children? And the party which got the highest vote becomes the forms the government. Okay, the party, after all the different parties have been voted, then which party got the most votes will be forming the government. Okay, and the leader of the party becomes the prime minister. Okay, and the president is the first citizen of our country. Okay, children? And for every 5 years there will be change in the president, and also the prime minister, chief minister, everybody. For every 5 years there will be a change, there will be a election where we will be electing the members in our areas, and that members will be electing the government members. Okay, yes, children, the party which won in more number of places will be forming the government. Okay, children. So this is about central government. Now turn your page to 138. There you have state government. Okay. So here also the governor, the chief minister, and the council of ministers form the executive body. Okay, in the central government it is president, prime minister, and council of ministers, isn't it? In state government it is chief minister, governor, chief minister, and council of ministers. They form the executive body. That means they make sure that the law is followed by everyone in the state, in that state. And in India, children, most of the states have only one house, which is legislative assembly. Okay, so there only the laws are discussed. They do they'll discuss the positives and negatives of the law, and they'll make sure they'll execute the law in the state. But in some states they also have, so executive assembly, they also have executive council. Okay, so in 6 states we have 2 houses. In other states we have only one house, which is legislative assembly. Okay, in 6 states we have two executive assembly and executive council also. It's the same way, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. In the same way, first legislative assembly, the positives and negatives, how it can be rectified, all those will be discussed in legislative assembly, and then it is sent to legislative council, and there also again they'll discuss, and then they introduce the law into the state. Okay, so Lok Sabha is the lower house, Rajya Sabha is the higher house, isn't it? In the same way, legislative assembly is the lower house, legislative council is the upper house. Most of the states have only one house. Okay, only one legislative assembly. In 6 states there are two houses. Okay, children? So here you can understand the governor, the chief minister, and the council of minister will be forming the executive, and the legislative assembly will be the legislature. Okay, executive. And who will be the person who is the judicial organ of the state? It is the high court, children. High court is the judicial organ of the state. Okay, and usually high court will be in the state capitals. High court we have high courts in all the states. Why? Because it is a judiciary part of the state government, isn't it, children? So that's why it is in all the states, and mostly that will be in the capital of that state. Okay. And if you see the Supreme Court, children, Supreme Court is in the national capital of our country, which is Delhi. Okay. And if the central government and state government has issues regarding the laws and all, so then the central government decision will be the final. In case of disagreement between the state and central government, the central decisions are final, because it has more powerful. It rules all over the country, isn't it? That's why it has more power. And so the Supreme Court and the High Court will be protecting the law, and they'll be settling the disputes. Disputes means the argument between the people. Okay, that also will be in the judicial part only. Okay, children. So in your content book, you can see where are Indian Parliament, where is the Supreme Court, Legislative Assembly. Yes, all those you can see in your content book, children. You can see the pictures. Okay, so this is our topic for today, children. So if you see the, did you know, in earlier times in most countries the head of the government was king. So earlier, when we were not having elections, when kings were ruling, so king who used to be head of the government. Okay, so this is our topic for today. I have given few keywords in your daily schedule. Please learn them and write it in your classwork and underline in your content book. Okay, children. And if you find any other word difficult, you can include in your keywords. Coming to your question answers. What is parliament? How many houses does the Indian parliament have? So the parliament makes the laws of the country. It is a legislature of the country, isn't it? It makes the laws. And how many houses it has? Two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. In Lok Sabha, there are 552 members, and in Rajya Sabha, there are 250 members who will be discussing about the law. Okay, children, coming to your next question. Write the similarities and differences between state and central governments. If you see similarities, children, in both state and central governments, you have legislature, you have executives, and you also have judiciary, isn't it? So both have to maintain the law and order, isn't it, children? So that is the similarity. Coming to differences, different is that head of the legislature in the state legislative assembly, but for center it is parliament. Okay, and head of the executive for state government is chief minister, council of ministers, but in the central it is president, prime minister, and council of ministers. Okay, in the state it is governor, chief minister, and central council of ministers. In center, in central government, it is president, prime minister, and council of ministers. And head of judiciary in central is Supreme Court. Head of judiciary in state is High Court. Okay, so that are the differences between the state and the central governments. Okay, so write these two answers in your classwork and please learn it, children. Coming to your homework, complete the volume book 3, page number 33, S4, the Indian government. Okay, so with this we have completed with our block, children. So in the next class I'll meet you with the new block, children. See you in the next class. Bye.